Okay, so these are my top 10 stadiums in Japan. But before we start, just a quick disclaimer. I haven't been to every stadium in Japan. Since I started ground hopping in Japan in 2018, I've been to 41 different stadiums. But there are a few stadiums that I still really want to go to. So I haven't been to Toyota Stadium, the home of Nagoya Grampus. Really want to go to that one, looks awesome. I also haven't been to Sapporo Dome, the home of Consadole Sapporo. And then down in Kyushu, I want to go to Level 5 and Mikuni World. Level 5 is a Vispa Fukuoka's stadium. Mikuni World is a Giravan's Kitakyushu's stadium. They also look awesome. And of course, Kyoto Sanga have a new stadium, which looks beautiful. And I haven't been there. I did have a plan to go there, but yeah, got postponed. But anyway, that's enough about the stadiums I haven't been to. Here is my top 10 stadiums in Japan so far. Number 10, Fujieda Sports Complex Park, the home of Fujieda My FC. Fujieda My FC play in J3, not a big team, not a big stadium, but one of the stadiums I enjoyed the most. I went last year, towards the end of the year. It was November, but it was sunny and warm, and I sat on the grass bank and had a beer, and everything was good. That's basically why it's number 10. Beautiful surroundings, it's surrounded by trees. They've got one big stand along one side of the pitch, but the rest of it's like grass banks. And yeah, it's just a really peaceful place, beautiful place. Colourful fans, colourful team, they play like in a lilac shirt. Interesting club as well. I'll put a link to the video I made where I explained a bit more about the team. Fujieda is in Shizuoka Prefecture. So from Tokyo on the bullet train about 90 minutes to Shizuoka, then a local train to Fujieda. But definitely check it out. It's really nice place to watch football, very beautiful, and yeah, interesting experience in J3. Number 9, Kashima Soccer Stadium, the home of Kashima Antlers. This stadium, of course, very iconic, is a World Cup 2002 venue. Kashima Antlers are one of the biggest, most successful teams in Japanese football, so you get that kind of sense of history and importance at the stadium. They have a statue outside the stadium to Zico, who played for Kashima, managed Kashima, and is now technical director. They also have near the statue some footprints of other former players. You get a sense of the past of this club. Inside, it's a two-tiered, all-surround stadium. It's really, yeah, it's quite big. I think 40 something thousand capacity. Doesn't always get sold out, but for big games, the atmosphere really is fantastic. The Kashima fans, of course, because Kashima are such a well-supported team, because they're successful, they do create a really good atmosphere. And yeah, it's a really good one to go to. The only issue is it's very difficult to get to because Kashima is in the middle of nowhere, but it's definitely worth the trek to experience one of the most historic and most important teams in Japanese football. Number 8, Fukuda Denshi Arena, the home of Jeff United Chiba. This is my most recent ground hop. Actually, I went in February for the opening weekend of the J2 season. Jeff, yeah, playing J2, but they have fluorescent yellow shirts, so they're one of the most colourful teams in the league, and you're greeted by that when you walk into the stadium. Yeah, flags waving, scarves, chanting, shouting, tifos. Really just a very lively atmosphere. Stadium's very cool too. It's kind of a bowl at the bottom on the first tier. The second tier is also gives really good views across the stadium, and behind the goal the Jeff fans do create a really good atmosphere, very loud and really passionate. Hopefully in the future Jeff can get back into J1, because I think in J1 the stadium would be absolutely rocking, even more than it is at the moment. Number 7, Sankyo Frontier Kashiwa Stadium, also known as Hitachi Dai, the home of Kashiwa Reysol. Now, This stadium also in Chiba, the same as Jeff United, and again, it's a really kind of wild place to watch football, I'd say. Hitachi Dai has no cover, so you will get wet if you go and watch Kashiwa, and also if you go to Kashiwa and sit behind the goal or stand behind the goal with the hardcore, you must wear yellow because they have the yellow wall at Kashiwa. Everyone dresses in yellow. I was given a yellow bin bag to wear the last time I went because I wasn't wearing yellow. Rookie mistake. So they really do take it very seriously in Kashiwa, very passionate, very loud. They've got all the flags and some really catchy songs as well. This season they're back in J1, and I went recently for the opening J1 game, opening weekend of the J1 season. Sold out as it often is, and really, wonderful place to watch football. Kind of in the suburbs of Kashiwa, which is in Chiba, not too far from Tokyo, maybe about 30 minutes from Ueno Station. Yeah, definitely do it. Definitely go to Kashiwa. Book your ticket early because it sells out fast, but yeah, great place to watch football. Number 6, Panasonic Stadiums, Rita, the home of Gamba Osaka. Gamba, again, like Kashima that I mentioned earlier, one of the most successful, famous teams in Japan. And Panasonic Stadium, also one of the newest stadiums in Japan, and it really shows. It's a wonderful place to watch football. Probably the perfect stadium, I'd say, size-wise. The way it's designed, and location's pretty good too. It ticks so many boxes. It's just been designed so well. Gamba fans are loud, they make a lot of noise. But actually when I went, I was in the away end with the Kamatamare Sanuki fans because I was doing my Empress Cup road to the final series, which I'll put a link to up here. And it wasn't the biggest crowd for that game, but you still get a sense of what that stadium's all about. It's, the Gamba fans with the black and blue shirts and flags and the noise they make, the songs they've got. It's really, you can really sense the size of this club and the passion that the fans have for this team. I'll also put a clip of when the Gamba fans took over Ajinomoto Field in Nishigaoka last season, just so you can get an idea of what the Gamba fans are like in full voice. Number 5, Saitama Stadium 2002, the home of Urawa Reds. Divisive club. not the most popular. Some people don't like them, some people absolutely love them. Bit of a Marmite team in that sense, I guess, but obviously there are reasons why they're not popular. Some not, in the past they have been very controversial. Some things have happened that are not good. I'll put the link to the video when I went to watch them last year where I explain more about that. But just focusing on the stadium, it's really again iconic, 2002 World Cup venue. It's got those really sweeping stands which are awesome. And behind the goal, the Urawa fans create an atmosphere that's unlike anything else in Japanese football. They have, I think, unrivaled passion for their team. It's completely different to any other team. They also sometimes go further than other fans. They boo and they hiss the opposition, which is not so common with other teams, but Urawa almost always do that. I think it must be tough for away teams to go there at times because it's just another level of support. And even if you're not an Urawa fan, it's sometimes hard not to get carried along with it because everyone is getting into the sort of atmosphere. So really do check it out. It's something completely different, but an important experience to try, I think, in Japanese football. Number 4, IAI Stadium Nihon Daira, the home of Shimizu S-Pulse. If you had to picture a football stadium in Japan, you're probably imagining this stadium because it's stunningly beautiful. It's unbelievable. You almost can't believe it exists, but it is the most it is a Japanese football stadium that you would picture. Surrounded by trees, you can see the ocean, and if you're lucky, on a very clear day, you can see Mount Fuji. It ticks all those boxes. And that's before you even get to the fans, who are incredible as well. It's just a complete package almost. It's the fans, they do such a good job in creating an atmosphere, and it's a really welcoming place as well. I think if you're going to a game for the first time in Japan, you'll get a really good feeling of what it's like to go and watch football in Japan. You'll get carried away with the passion that the fans have for their team. It's a must-do, and if you spend a few days in Shizuoka, it's a really nice place as well to just sort of travel around. And yeah, definitely do it. Definitely take a trip to Shizuoka and watch Shimizu S-Bulls. It's you will not regret it. Number 3, NAC 5 Stadium, Omiya, the home of Omiya Ardija. So this is my local team. I could walk to the stadium if I wasn't so lazy. It takes about 40 minutes to walk from my house. So NAC 5 is quite compact. It's almost always nearly sold out, at least, sometimes sold out. It's especially behind the goal. It's sometimes the tickets sell out fast in that section where the hardcore support goes. The bottom tier is terracing, top tier seating, and that big orange wall behind the goal is really cool. The colours are so vibrant, and then the flags and the songs and chants are really good. One of the best things though about NAC 5 and Omiya, they announce the starting lineup to the theme tune of the A-Team. Which is something that I will never get bored of. I love it. And also just a really welcoming place. Whenever I go, I always seem to find friendly people who welcome me in to sit near them or share food with me, which has happened a few times. Yeah, definitely, it's definitely one to do. It's not too far from Tokyo. It's in Omiya, which is about 30 minutes from Tokyo. And Omiya are the rivals of Urawa Reds. It's the same prefecture, same city. But Omiya currently J2, but even so, in J2 it's still a really cracking atmosphere, so yeah, definitely check it out. And another cool thing about NAC 5, it probably has the most beautiful approach to any stadium in Japan. You got to walk along the path to Hikawa Shrine, and then the stadium is right next to the shrine. So when you're walking along, you have people going to pray, but you can also hear the sound of the chants like drifting through the trees into the shrine. Really, really unique, and definitely one to consider doing. Not difficult to get to, and great atmosphere. Number 2, Centro Alwyn Stadium, the home of Matsumoto Yamaga. This is in Nagano Prefecture. I went last year for a game towards the end of their season when they were J1. When I went, they'd already been relegated to J2. It was their final game of the league season, yet it was still sold out. The fans were still in full voice, and their stadium is up in the southern Japanese Alps, surrounded by mountains. There's clouds drifting in off the mountains. The fans are unbelievably passionate and loud, and the combination of the scenery and the fans and the stadium design exposed to the elements, you're going to get wet, but you sort of feel like it's a visceral place to watch football. Everything all connects together to create a really incredible atmosphere. Can't recommend it enough. It's the sort of club that the top flight of Japanese football needs, because it's almost always sold out. The fans are relentlessly singing and chanting and non-stop, and you get carried away again with it. It's one of those clubs that even if you're not a fan of the team, you will feel like you're part of it when you go and watch them. So take the trip up to Nagano, you won't regret it. And also when you're in Nagano, there's another team that you can go and watch. Number 1, Nagano U Stadium, the home of AC Nagano Pasero. So this stadium is unbelievable. I went last year. I actually ended up going twice last year. The second time I didn't film it, I just went as a fan. because this club completely won me over in the space of one match day. It was a club that I didn't know much about. I knew they had a nice stadium, but I didn't know how nice it was until I got there. Nagano Stadium is a kind of a mini Panasonic Stadium. It's purpose-built, very new, very modern, and it's been designed in a way that it includes and it makes the most of the surroundings, because Nagano, of course, is in the mountains, so you have the stands, the mountains, the trees around it in the park. It's just a complete package, and it all works together so well, the way it's been designed to fit into the sort of landscape. It took my breath away when I saw it. I couldn't believe it was a J3 stadium. This is a very small team in the third tier, but they've got the best stadium in Japan, in my opinion. Then the fans are another level. They make the most of the stadium with the acoustics incredible, and the noise they make is, off the chart. They've got obviously a very colourful team. They play in orange. They've got great flags, great songs, and they support the team really well, despite the team not always performing well on the pitch. The fans are always there, always in good voice. And when they score a goal, they have a very interesting celebration. Caught me by surprise when it happened, when I went the first time. But they all link shoulders and bounce up and down along the row for every goal, and if they win, they do the same thing. So you have to get involved. Everyone behind the goal does this. It's just a really cool experience. I just loved it so much. I've been to so many grounds, seen so many teams, but only Parcero have really won me over, and they did it with their stadium and with their fans. Not so much the quality of football, but yeah, hopefully in the future this will be a team that climbs up the leagues, and I really do recommend you check out the stadium. Even in J3, it's a wonderful place to watch football, the best place to watch football in Japan, in my opinion. So thank you very much for watching. Please let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree with my choices. I'm sure there's some people disagreeing with my picks, but please comment below and let me know what you think. Also, in the previous video, the Saitama SC video, I got a question from Canal Footpedia, who asked me about the stadiums that I've been to outside of Japan. And actually, there are not many. I've only been to 16 stadiums outside of Japan. So I've been to, in England my team is Plymouth Argyle, so I've been to Home Park countless times to watch Argyle. That's my football home. I always go when I go home. I've also been to some other grounds in England as an away fan. I've been to Gresty Road, the home of Crewe Alexandra, St James Park, the home of Exeter City, Ricoh Arena, the home of Coventry City, Sixfields, Northampton Town's ground. In the Premier League, not to watch Argyle sadly, but just as a sort of neutral. I've been to Villa Park, the home of Aston Villa, Old Trafford, Man United's ground, and Stamford Bridge, which is Chelsea's stadium. And I've been to Wembley a couple of times as well. In non-league, I've been to Weymouth Town's ground, I've been to Ashford Town Middlesex's ground, I've been to Rushden and Diamonds, which they no longer exist actually, so their stadium got bulldozed, which is a bit of a shame because it's a very nice stadium. I've been to Bracknell Town's ground quite recently actually, maybe about 2 years ago. And that is it in England. Before moving to Japan, I lived in the Middle East. I lived in Oman and the UAE. In Oman, I've been to Sultan Qaboos Stadium, the national stadium. In Dubai, I've been to Maktoum bin Rashid Al Maktoum Stadium, the home of Al Shabab. And my favourite team in the UAE is in Abu Dhabi. It's this team, Al Wada. I've been to their Al Nahyan Stadium quite a few times as well. Actually, when I used to go to that stadium, they never charged me any money. They always let me in for free. So that club has a special place in my heart as well. I always enjoyed going there to watch them play. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments or other questions, please let me know. And hopefully I'll see you again soon. So thank you very much for watching. See you next time.